Hello friends, it's Techman Pat, and in this video we're going to test how fast your NBN connection needs to be to stream 4K video on YouTube. Now, you're here, but I'm going to also share my screen, and what I have on my screen is one of my videos, and I'll talk about the stats that it's showing here in a second, but I also want to show you why I have my laptop here on the side. So recently I purchased this modem right here, the TP-Link VR900, AC11 1900, Archer V900, whatever it is. It has some great inside controls of how much speed each computer gets, and that's how we're going to test what the minimum speed is for your playback. So right now, if you look at the screen here, we've got stats coming up from the Wahoo, and we've got 54,000 kilobits, which ends up being about 54 megabits. Now, I just did a speed test on my internet. I am fiber to the node. I'm very close to the node. I'm getting a max of 75 megabits per second. And right now we are buffering at 20 seconds forward on 4K video. As you can see, it's 4K 2160p, which is classified as 4K, and we're getting some really clear playback. There is no issues, and you can see it's jumping between 55 to 57 megabits per second. Every so often it downloads a little bit to make this playback smooth. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to change the speed that the router allows the actual computer to work at. And we're gonna have that first. We're gonna go to 25 megabits per second. So I'm gonna jump into the actual router and I'm gonna change it to 25 megabits download. So it's a QoS, so quality of service, which is great if you want to limit how fast certain things download so they don't hog up all the bandwidth. It's actually a really, really great idea. So what I'm gonna do is gonna change it to 25, and you're gonna see this 54 jump down to around 27 to even 15. It will not always use the full bandwidth. It will try to say, I'm gonna use about half of it, but it's gonna try and do it at the smoothest playback. So we're dropping here 37, 35, here we go. And as you can see, the actual buffer health has also dropped to 17 seconds, and it's gonna keep dropping, I believe. It's gonna go down to 15, I did a test before. So we're at 25 megabits per second connection to this computer from the router. The buffer health has gone down a bit, and the best way to actually check if this is, because we were downloading it for a little bit, we're just gonna refresh the page and we're gonna run that stats for nerds again. And as you can see, it'll build it up again, build up that buffer, and we should have about 15 seconds of buffering time. Oh, it's stopped. It had a bottleneck just then. We're actually only 1 second ahead. Oh, and it's paused. We are getting very choppy playback on 25 megabits per second. And NBN Co came out and said that 25 megabits per second is going to be perfect for playing 4K video back. Now, perfect probably isn't the best word. I know it's fallen down to 11, but it's just the way it works. We're limiting it to 25, but it's also doing its own thing on YouTube. It's never going to use the full speed of the line. So right now at 25, it's taking 15 megabits and you're getting about 17 seconds of playback buffering, and you saw a couple of hitches happen just before. So let's go lower. Let's jump down to 15 and see what happens. So I've just switched it to 15. I'm gonna refresh the page and turn on stats for nerds and just have a look at the screen. If it does anything, it pauses. There, it has a pause. Oh, it did it. Oh, and it's paused again. Oh. And we're not even at 4K yet. So we'll switch it to 4K. That's very slow. That's at 15. All right, we got a 1 second of buffer and it's paused again. Okay, 15 megabits per second is definitely not fast enough for 4K. It's gonna be choppy. Let's just jump back to 25 and make sure that I had it at, refresh that. Every time you refresh, it must reset. 4K, here we go, stats for nerds. Final test, and it's pausing. 25 megabits, internet speed is probably not fast enough for this. Now, there's a couple of issues with this test, and I'm not gonna go too much into it, but the fact that I'm stopping the download to be 25 megabits per second is causing this to actually not be 25. It's causing it to be half of that, which is around 13 to 10. And what's actually happening is that after a while, it will build up that buffer. You've got 5 seconds, 7 seconds of buffer, and you should be all right. So technically speaking, NBN Co. or whoever the representative was that said that is not wrong that you can play this back quite smoothly. But imagine opening another video at 4K, or somebody in the other house opening at 4K. And that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go to YouTube right now on the laptop, which is also limited because I'm limiting the whole house to 25. And I'm going to play one of my videos at 4K. Well, I got to find one of my videos because I'm not on the trending page or anything like that. And we're going to play it back. And we're going to put it to 4K. And we're going to see if there's any drops on this as I click it. We're getting a lot of dropped frames on my laptop. I'm going to try and share that, but it's pausing all the time. Yeah, it's pausing. All right. So what have we learned, my friends? Well, we know that 25 is just enough to run 1 or 2 videos. The first few minutes of it will buffer and you'll have some dropped frames, which means there'll be a little pause or something before it loads back in. You probably won't be able to stream a whole bunch of these videos throughout the house. So I agree, 25 is the bare minimum your home should have. Now, obviously, I feel very sorry for anybody below that. So guys, if you're below that, just know that you probably won't be able to stream 4K very smoothly. You'll have a bunch of pausing, and we'll do that for the sake of fun. For the sake of fun, I'm going to lower that to, let's say, 10 megabits per second. We're going to lower that, and we're going to see what happens to our 4K video right here. Refresh, stats for nerds, and we're going to jump to 4K, and we're going to see what happens. This is 10 megabits test, and it's just loading. Oh, we are not getting anything here. It's pausing. Unfortunately, it is what it is. It is going at about 3.8 megabits there. There is no buffer health. It's still trying to download everything. We are getting pauses, experiencing interruptions. Yes, I am. So that's 10 megabits and you're getting issues. So again, if we go lower than that, let's go to 5. 5 megabits is what I used to have at my old house. It was ADSL2 plus 5 megabits, and we're on 5 megabits and we're paused. Friends, on that bombshell, thank you very much for watching. I hope this has given you a little bit of a perspective. Probably not the best scientific thing, but it's the best I can do by controlling the actual internet from the modem into the house and giving you a bit of a stat for nerd about what's happening on the site of the actual video here. Now, I'm sure after a while it will load those seconds. It will buffer 5 seconds and it will play 5 seconds and so on, as you can see. But the problem is it's completely unwatchable, so I'll leave you guys with that. Thank you very much for watching, like, subscribe, and I'll catch you guys in another video. Bye!